Hello my dear students, today I am going to teach science of class 7. So today we are going to start a new lesson. So before starting the lesson, let me help you to recall some basic ideas which we have learned in class 6. So you have learned in class 6 about different types of motion. Different types of motion. Different types of motion. So the question is, what are the different types of motion? The question is, what are the different types of questions? So when you try to recall what you have learned in class 6, you will find the answers straight line. The motion can be straight line, circular, or periodic. So the motion could be straight line, circular, or periodic. So when you try to recall what you have learned in class 6, you will find that the motion could be straight line, circular, or periodic. So when you try to remember the example of periodic motion, see the example pendulum. So in class 6 you have learned that motion of a pendulum is periodic motion. So today we are going to learn, or today's lesson is, the name of the lesson or name of the topic is motion and time. Motion and time, which is lesson number 13. Motion and time. Physics ki part mein, motion and time. So when you look at your textbook, you will find that there are 5 subtopics in this lesson. Total subtopics in mangani masi chapter si lesson si, and today we are going to discuss only 3 subtopics. Subtopic ahu ngasi ne nagani. So let's start with the first subtopic, that is slow or fast. Slow haragana tappa, fast haragana yangba haidare. So when you look at your textbook at page number 143, you will find that some vehicles move faster than the others. When you look around, when you are traveling on road, when you are traveling on road, you will find vehicles. Some vehicles move faster than when compared to the others. Even the same vehicle may move faster or slow at different times. And motion, these objects are. How did you decide which object is moving slow and which one is moving fast? The question is, when umatamda tapna thoba tappa yangba yaranguni, the kamaina khangino. How did you decide which object is moving slow and which one is moving fast? When you look around, you will find some vehicles are moving fast and some are moving slow. But the question is, how did you decide? Which object is moving slow and which one is moving fast? If vehicles are moving on a road in the same direction, we can easily tell which one of them is moving faster than the other. Same direction. The answer is same direction. Yang buduna mamang thang buduna fast. They are moving fast. Maninda layuduna, they are moving slow. Or in simple terms, the answer will be the distance moved by the object in a given interval of time. Or in simple term, or in general, the distance moved by objects in a given interval of time. In a given interval of time can help us to decide. Or in general, at a simple term, that the distance moved by an object in a given interval of time can help us to decide. Hadi akaknaba matam amada ma distance kya cover togi haibisina masina mateng pangni which one is moving faster or which one is moving slow. Let us take an example. Example amana rosi 100-meter race. When sports the su lamjen chen with 100-meter race. Masida young chen first agadra, top the chen first agra. Obviously, young chen first time. So it is easy to decide whose speed is the highest. One who takes shortest time to cover the distance. Shortest time. Lamjen chen no matamda 100-meter race ta. Masagi end point do yawnaba chen matamda khwaidigi matam 10 na lobdu. Maduna khwaidigi yang na chelam. So masi distance covered in a given interval of time. See masida koina tamdusi second topic sini speed highs. So the distance covered in a given interval of time. This is the second topic of today's lecture. That is speed. And then speed si yamigay ngasai matam si adugi matik 10 na distance cover to ngamdui. And the definition is the distance. So the distance. So what will be the definition of speed? Speed si definition se kayo ni. Kasi speed si yang ni kaya daw ba distance cover to matam si yam 10 siyempre. So the distance moved by an object. The distance moved by an object in a unique time is called its speed. And the speed say yang igay distance cover to buda matam se 10 na changani habni na distance ka time with relation si dalani. The distance moved by an object in a unique time is called its speed. So let's take an example. When we say that a car is moving with a speed of 50 km per hour. When a car is moving with a speed of 50 km per hour, 50 km per hour implies that it will cover a distance of 50 km. Distance 50 km in 1 hour. Pungama 50 km per hour hai taragadi pungama thau matamda kilometer 50 km ma distance cover tawani hai. This is the speed. Maduga khwaidigi maru oibisi karino adi car ma thau matamda hek howdagi 50 da thauba yaroi tap na sum 50 si yo kadami tap no tharo kadabani marakta su because of the traffic or maybe because of the rough road brake phaba speed tap tharak pa haibe me lay aduna masi 50 da lep da 50 da thauba ngamoy asai 50 da tarak pa yai hengat pa yai masi bo koina average speed ko average speed anuga masi bo koina average speed ko and we shall use the term speed for average speed in this chapter. Speed high is speed and masiki lesson the average speed. So for us the speed is the total distance covered divided by the total time taken. So when you try to write down the formula of speed is total distance covered by total time taken. This is the formula of speed. And one important point is also given in your textbook in page number 145, which is highlighted by blue background. and 2 points are given. One is non-uniform and the other one is a uniform motion. So let's discuss about non-uniform and uniform motion. Non-uniform have then uniform have 2 points are given, which is related to speed. So what is non-uniform motion? If the speed of an object moving along a straight line keeps changing, speed change the rule. Its motion is said to be non-uniform. Speed change the huziki car gi thobuduni 50 kilo. For example, when we say an example that a car is traveling in a speed of 50 kilometer per hour, it doesn't mean that it is always at a constant speed. 50 doesn't we have in a day, handhabe hengat average to ni. So speed si home smina home sibu when a non-uniform kawi. On the other hand, an object moving along a straight line with a constant speed, speed si swung home drum. Constant speed, swung home drum. Maduna uniform motion kawi. In this case, the average speed is the same as the actual. Average speed ka actual speed ka mana hai. Aduga non-uniform dadi average speed ka actual speed ka mana de. Speed si home manai. Average ka tani ko ne si non-uniform da. Average speed ka actual speed ka mana de non-uniform dadi. Aduga uniform dadi average speed ka actual speed ka mana hai. Now, speed ki formula as we have learned the formula of speed, which is distance by time. Now the question is, in order to find the speed, we need to know the value of distance and the value of time, or we need to measure distance and time, and we should have the knowledge of how to measure distance and how to measure time. So now the question is, in class 6 we have learned about the measurement of distance. Distance ki measurement is class 6 and how to measure distance. So this is learning, and how to measure distance is learned in class 6. Now the question is how to measure time, which we are going to learn in class 7 and in this lecture. Class 7 the lecture is time si kamai matam si kamai measure tawni hai bukoi. Matam si kamai measure tawni ko si tamdoni distance ki measure tawgi di class 6 the tamgai. So let's move on to the third topic, that is measurement of time. That is measurement of time. Measurement of time. So how to measure time? Time se koi measure to do you know? So how to measure time intervals of a month? Our ancestors tiny ancestors ki matang de pire. Our ancestors tiny matam se kamai wala ni. They noticed that many events in nature repeat themselves after definite nature. Nature the many events mein nature the many events mein repeat the repeat you after definite intervals of time. Repeat themselves after definite interval of time. After definite interval of time. So how to measure time? In nature they notice, ancestors they notice in nature many events they repeat themselves after a definite interval of time. So let's take an example so that we can understand it easily. Example on the sun rises. So the sun rises every day in the morning. Sun rises every day in the morning and sets in the evening. So the time between one sunrise and the next sunrise. So the time between one sunrise and the next was called a day. Sunrise ki mating na numinama. And similarly, month was measured one new moon amadagina next ki new moon amasina a month tha ma hai mi. Then the year chahim na kamaina hai earth to complete one revolution by the earth around the sun, or the time taken by the earth to complete one revolution around the sun, a year high. Often we need to measure intervals of times which are much shorter than a day. See, numit ama chahi ama. Numit ama dagi amukasu hena picture. So we need to measure intervals of time which are much shorter than a day. Clocks or watches are perhaps the most common time measuring device. Clock not to go watches have you the working of clock is rather complex, but all of them make use of some periodic motion. Question how clocks and watches measure time. The working of clocks is rather complex, but when all of them make use of some clock to see current principle some periodic motion. So one of the most well-known periodic motion is that of simple pendulum. The simple pendulum ki mating dagini akoina clock ka saraiba mayam si ko. So when you look at your textbook at page number 145, you will find wall clock, table clock, and digital clock you will find. So let's discuss about simple pendulum. Pendulum dagi hawdoropani see clock is the refinement of pendulum. Pendulum dagi lakpa ngatani. So let's discuss about simple pendulum. Page number 146, simple pendulum. Pendulum. So a simple pendulum consists of a small metallic ball. Page number 146, sorry, picture is given. Diagram is also given. A, O, B. So a simple pendulum consists of a small metallic ball as you see. Small metallic ball or a piece of stone which is suspended from a rigid stand by a thread. Means the line. And the metallic ball is called the bob of the pendulum. Masigi metallic ball is the bob of the pendulum. Kawi. Rest in sina smile chum lepa levi si mean position the lebu kawi. Mean position. So when the bob of the pendulum is released after taking it slightly to one side. One side, it begins to move to and fro. Mean position A position is to and fro. A O B O A. So the to and fro motion of simple pendulum is an example of periodic or an oscillatory motion. Periodic. See, this is the example of periodic or oscillatory motion. Oscillation. The pendulum is said to have complete one oscillation. One oscillation is kanda oini haragadi. Ani thong pire O dagi hauraga A da chalaga B da chalaga O do mu halakpa. Adu one oscillation oibi oisu yai. Natragana A da thangalaba matungda smile A da thangalaga thadok matamda B da chaluraga O helaga B da chaluraga A da mu halakpa. Aduna A dagi chalaga A da mu halakpa. This is one oscillation. So the time taken by the pendulum to complete one oscillation is called its time period. ꯑꯗꯣ mean position dagi mean position dagi A da thangalaga thadok matamda B da chaluraga A da halapusi one oscillation kawi masigi A dagi thadoga B da chaluraga A da halakpa changiba matamdana time period kawi. So now we understand simple pendulum khange hoji time period khange oscillation khange. So next is unit हमला ताकते हैं दा unit of time units of time and speed ताकते हैं दा और जो कोने खान जिसके nowadays most clocks or watches have an electric circuit. The clocks they are not trigger watches they are उसी कहीं नो मेन नहीं है उसी कहीं नो उसी मतलब जल्दी electric circuit आते हैं electric circuit with one or more cells with one or more cells. These clocks are called quartz clocks. Mana electric circuit with one or more cells. Ki matinga sina ba masin bu clock si bu na quartz clock ko. Quartz clocks ko. So the time measured by the clock quartz clock is much more accurate. Sina faidi accurate boy than that of the clocks available earlier. Sigi mamang da lerma mayam dagi sina faidi accurate boy. Haidi faidi ki chum. So now what would be the last topic of today's lesson? Last topic of today's lesson, there is units of time and speed. Units of time and speed. Units of time and speed is the last topic. Units of time and speed. This is the last topic. Units of time and speed. The basic unit of time. Units hai ta argadi. Masagi koi on matamda. Changi the potuni. Koi length ko mujhe meter to only have to minus time see. Time number is speed ki unit se kai you know the basic unit of time unit se kai you know hai matamda time unit se kai you know hai matamda time unit se kai you know hai matamda second and time unit. The basic unit of time is a second. Its symbol is S, small s na symbol with me. Last unit of time is second ki chawat kya hai na minute देखिए ना चौका क्या है ना hour. What will be the basic unit of speed? Speed थी क्या है नहीं? So distance की दी हाना meter हाना classic जो तम रहा है meter नो है. Since the formula of speed is distance by time, so obviously unit से क्या है नहीं meter by second, meter by minute. Or kilometer by hour, meter by minute OBI, or kilometer by hour OBI. So the since the unit of time is second, unit of meter will be, since the formula of speed is distance by time, so the unit of speed will be meter by second, or meter by minute, or kilometer by hour. And the important point we should know regarding the unit is that the symbols of all units are written in singular. So the symbols of all units, singular. We should not write 50 kilometers. 50 kilometers. Next point is many time measuring devices were used in different parts. So before clock many time measuring devices were used in different parts of the world before the pendulum clocks became popular. Pendulum clock pendulum refinement pendulum clock Hanasi sandals in army. Sandals, a picture of which is given in your textbook at page number 49. Sandals in army, then water clocks in army, which is also given in page number 149. Water clocks, then Sen clocks. So these are the time measuring devices which were used in different parts of the world before the pendulum clocks became popular. So with this, I'll summarize what we have learned today, and the remaining topic will be discussed in the next class. So far we have discussed that the distance moved by an object in a unit time, the distance used by an object in the unit time is called speed. Next, the speed of object helps us to decide which one is moving faster than the other. Speed na mating pangi, which one is moving faster than the other. Then the speed of an object is the distance traveled divided by the time taken. Formula is speed is equal to distance by time. Therefore, unit will be meter by second, or meter by minute, or kilometer by hour. Then periodic events are used for the measurement of time. Periodic motion of a pendulum has been used to make clocks and watches. Periodic motion tigi lakmo arte. As clock ka watches. Periodic motion. So clock and watches are the refinement of periodic motion, or refinement of pendulum. Pendulum juju periodic motion ni periodic motion ni. So the periodic motion of a pendulum has been used to make clocks and watches. So the clock and watches that we are using today is the refinement of pendulum or periodic motion. So this is the summary of today's lesson. So I'll write down some questions which will help you to check whether you have understand the topic or not. This is a evaluation ni. What name is given to the metallic ball? What name is given to the metallic ball of a simple pendulum? What name is given to the metallic ball of a simple pendulum? Question number 2 is define speed of a body, or define speed of an object, or define speed of a body. So try to find the answers of these questions, this will help you to check whether you have understand the topic or not. So with this, I'll conclude my lecture. Thank you.